Blaze Pizza is a build-your-own pizza brand. It's all handmade, artisanal pizza, and we cook it in 180 seconds, really fast, really fresh ingredients. We have wonderful lemonades and agua frescas, as well as wonderful desserts. So we have one of these delicious s'mores pie. We make them fresh every day in our blazing hot oven. It's on a nice biscuit, and it comes with fresh Hershey's chocolate and marshmallows that taste delicious. We cater to all types of dietary restrictions. We have vegan options. We have a vegan cheese. We have a vegan protein. We can do with gluten-free options. We have a keto crust, a cauliflower crust, and a vegan gluten-free crust. We're right at 10 Dundas Street East, right at the corner of Yonge-Dundas, right across from Yonge-Dundas Square. We've focused heavily on our app. On the Blaze Pizza app, there's a reward program so that they can get some free pizza. It's a great thing for guests.
Hey y'all, I'm Rudy Blair of Rudy Blair Entertainment Media, rudyblairmedia.com, and I am your host of Indie Fridays, the interviews with Rudy Blair, presented by Yonge-Dundas Square. Every year, Yonge-Dundas Square hosts a series of free concerts for 10 weeks in the summer, Indie Fridays, showcasing an array of performances from Canada's brightest artists. This year, Indie Fridays is going virtual for its 10th anniversary, but with a twist. Instead of live performances, I'm speaking with some of the best singer-songwriters from Toronto about themselves and the music they make, from a variety of musical genres that represent the sound of the city. Before we get started on today's interview, I want to give you an update on the Yonge-Dundas Square neighborhood. The downtown Yonge businesses are open and ready to help you with all of your needs. Whether you're looking for fresh haircuts or fresh flowers, meal kits or delicious takeout, the latest fashions or even home decor, find everything you want, all within a 10-minute walk of the heart of Toronto. Check out the link to the business map in the description below to begin your hashtag Yonge Local journey. The video you just saw is from one of those very businesses. We hope that you can show them some love the next time you're in the neighborhood or, of course, online anytime. And I want to let you in on a Toronto music secret, and it's right across the road from the square. Friars Music Museum is reopening soon. Toronto's celebrated music history is now on permanent display in the free Friars Music Museum, with curation rotated twice a year by the downtown Yonge BIA. Located in a small dedicated area on the second floor inside the Yonge-Dundas flagship Shoppers Drug Mart, the Friars Music Museum is the only museum in the city that pays homage to Toronto's unique music history. You can follow them on Facebook at Friars Music Museum for updates. Today, I'll be speaking with Jordan Circosta, a member of one of the best and unique groups from the city of Toronto, the alternative rock band MONOWHALES, on their remix EP and single Really Wanna Let You Down, and latest release All or Nothing.
Beat up, belly up, looking for a ride on time.
First, my friend, it is great speaking with you, and I gotta say, man, for the last couple of years, it's been an honor to have a chance to interview you guys. From the first time I met you guys, and you guys were performing over at City Hall, to you also performing at Indie Fridays at Yonge-Dundas Square. Like, you have done the city, you have done Canada. You guys have done so much in the last couple of years. Congratulations on all the success.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that, and I'm glad that you've been with us every step of the way.
It's just been an amazing ride. But right off the top, though, let's talk some changes have happened with the group. What's going on?
Are you referring to Holly kind of stepping away over the past little bit? Yeah, man. So it's sort of been like something we've been that's been sort of on our minds and on Holly's mind over the past little bit. Like, as I'm sure you know from interviewing artists, it's like, this is a very specific lifestyle that we live, So for some people, it really works well and like kind of jives with the way you want to live your life moving forward. And for other people, as you do it and as you get out on the road and kind of experience what it's like, for some people, they're just like, you know what, this really isn't for me. And I think that was the case for Holly. I think she just realized there was something different that would bring her the fulfillment that she wanted. So she chose to step back.
Well, she was an amazing part of the group, and I know whatever she's going to do in the future is, again, also going to be amazing, too. So going to miss her, but wish her all the best in her future. But, as we talk about present and future, who would have thought from the last time I talked to you guys, when you were releasing new music and you were having that great party where lots of people were allowed to come to to what we're dealing with now, where social distancing, COVID-19, discussions of racism is out there now. People are arguing about wearing masks, not wearing masks. I mean, how are you guys handling everything? Because, of course, it puts a stop to your sort of touring and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, that's been a big impact on us for sure. It's changed our release plans. Like we were supposed to have an EP out already. You know, we had really recorded an EP back in November of last year that was supposed to, we had a single ready to drop right around the time the pandemic was hitting, and then an EP that was supposed to come out over the summer. So we've kind of, you know, scaled that back a little bit when we realized, wow, man, like we can't shoot a video, we can't, you know, promote this stuff properly. It's probably time to just, you know, scale things back and like feel it out a little bit more. So that was like the biggest impact, I guess, on the band itself. And then, yeah, there's all just like the regular human stuff, man, of like a social reckoning as far as society is concerned. And then a lot of, you know, just trying to understand, like we kind of faded through, you know, crippling fear of this pandemic to where we're at now, which seems like a more just rational caution kind of approach, which I'm enjoying. Like things seem to have calmed down a little bit. People have a better understanding of things, and there's a lot less of a panicky vibe out there, which is kind of nice.
But you guys haven't slowed down at all when it comes to working on music and causes and stuff like that. You guys put together a remix package. This is very cool, and what you guys have done and where proceeds are going to also. Can you talk a little bit about that, please?
Yeah, of course. So we had a few artists that were interested in remixing the song. We were kind of like collecting those over the past like 6 or 8 months. And then we kind of realized, like, you know, we got quite a few songs here. It would be worth it for people to hear them. But when, like, kind of coinciding with when we were planning to release that, all of the kind of stuff that was going on, especially in the States, but also here in Toronto and in Canada, that was all coming about, and we were sort of like, we didn't feel great about putting our hand up and doing the whole, it's hard to describe, like as an artist, like it's a lot of like, look at me, like I'm making stuff that you should care about. You know what I mean? And you want to do that because you're proud of what you do, but there are times in history where that doesn't really feel right to do. But at the same time, we kind of felt bad. Like people had worked really hard creating stuff on our behalf, right? It was like a collaboration with all these artists. We didn't want to shelve it completely either. So we felt like a good middle ground would be put it out in a way that would allocate the attention that we were maybe getting through people streaming that stuff. If we could allocate that money towards an organization that we felt was doing some good, that seemed like the best possible middle ground. So we tried to do it with, you know, limited social media stuff, just a couple posts kind of saying, hey guys, like this is here. This is where proceeds are going. It's going to the Black Legal Action Center. If you want to stream it and support, you're supporting us, but you're also supporting this movement. And, you know, it made us feel comfortable kind of moving forward with that release that we were able to kind of contribute in that way.
Really wanna let you down. Really wanna let you down. Really wanna let you down. Really wanna let you down.
And I'm just curious too, because of where the proceeds are going. What do you think about this new discussion on racism? Because we've never had this kind of discussion before, ever, especially now with social media being so out front, and the things that people are seeing is pretty much and hearing is pretty much raw. There's no editing to the things that you're seeing and hearing now.
Yeah, that's for sure true. I mean, I think that it's a necessary conversation that needs to be had. I think when it comes to racism in itself, and I think this is what's so interesting about what's happening right now, is like a lot of people, I would at least hope, are kind of on the same page about being like, yeah, racism is bad, but like we've been doing that for like 20, 30 years without actually reckoning with the institutions that are upholding systems that contribute to the racism. So while you might be able to say, yeah, I'm not racist, like everyone's cool, it's all good, are you actually doing something to interface with government institutions or the institutions that you support through your tax dollars and all those things in order to actually create change that is tangible outside of yourself, because we are kind of responsible for the way our government behaves, right? So I think that's sort of what's happening now, in my view at least, is a reckoning with institutionalized racism, if that makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense, absolutely. Because, as we talked about a bit earlier, COVID-19, everybody's dealing with it as we speak. Toronto itself is heading to stage 3, but who knows what will happen in the next couple of weeks or a few months from now. And as we just mentioned about racism, has it affected the group's songwriting approach?
It definitely has. Writing songs over Zoom calls has not been the easiest thing in the world to do. Like, we're trying our best, and, you know, Zach and I, after things kind of started opening up and you were able to kind of piece together your little, I don't know, it always reminds me of, like, back in the day when you had, like, your fave 5 or whatever, like, on your phone plan of, like, your 5 friends I'm choosing or whatever. It's like that.
Oh, my God. I forgot about that.
I'm like dating myself even saying that shit. Oh, my God. But, yeah, so I was able to start seeing Zach again. But yeah, so like we were getting together to work on some stuff over the past little bit. So like we're kind of chipping away at songs, but it's just not the same as actually getting together and playing as a band and stuff. And especially because we're phasing Holly out now, we're looking for a new bass player, and not really having the ability to get in a room and actually audition people and play together has been kind of tough. So I'm looking forward to things opening up so that we can start doing that. But at the same time, always in the back of my mind, there's this worry about a second wave that might close things down for even longer and prevent us from playing, because that's really all I want to do. I love writing songs, but I really just want to get back out and play.
Hear, 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 hear. And I'm hoping for that too, because, again, the kind of performance you guys did at Yonge-Dundas Square, I mean, you guys just tore the place up. From the first time when I met you guys over at City Hall and seeing, Mayor John Tory literally coming over because he heard the music. He was like, I got to find out who these guys are. I mean, you guys bring energy. And I know a lot of people are doing, which is great to have the technology, the online performances and stuff. And now people are doing the drive-in shows. It's still not the same. They're still missing that energy and that connection of having people together, whether it be 10 to, 50,000. That energy is stronger than anything than a drive-in or virtual.
I agree 100%, man. And I don't like, to be honest, a lot of people are in my opinion, a little too quick to call that the new normal, People are like, that's just what it is now, dude. Like, we'll be telling our kids, remember when we used to go to concerts and there were like people standing next to each other? I'm like, I don't want to accept that. Like we have to strive to get through this thing. We need to be careful. We shouldn't be foolish about it. But I'm not going to resign myself to playing drive-in concerts for the rest of my life. I don't think that does justice to the art form by any means.
Amen to that. But, you guys are still busy. As we spoke just before we started here, you guys are putting together, there's new music coming out.
Yeah, there is. So we have a whole to be rolling out over the next little bit. We got a single dropping. It was supposed to come out months ago, so we've been dying to release this thing. Finally, it's getting to see the light of day. So, yeah, we're really stoked. This song has a bit more of a rock slant. This is like a little bit closer to some of the older stuff we have. It's a little bit more rock. Like, Really Want to Let You Down was kind of moving more into sort of like the modern, almost, I don't want to say pop necessarily, but kind of like on that side of things. And this is sort of more like where we come from, like in terms of our history and stuff, like playing just straight up like alt rock. and
Okay.
I'm really stoked about it.
Okay, well, here's the thing with you guys, too, because I'm looking forward to hearing the single, but I'm also looking forward to seeing the video. Have you guys got any ideas yet on what you're going to do? Because you guys are extremely creative with whatever surroundings you have.
Yeah, man, that is one thing that's been a little tough. We've been trying to get something set up. Obviously, there are far more stringent regulations around shooting videos than we've ever had to deal with in the past. We're still trying to pull one together, but it's a little bit tougher than it's been before. So we do have some cool ideas, and I think we're going to pull it off, but might take a little longer than it has in the past. Back in the day, we used to shoot a video in like a couple of days and release it like a week or two later, and I don't think we're going to be able to do that this time.
Yeah, but no matter what, your videos are creative, so I'm looking so forward to seeing what you guys definitely come up with. This is a challenge, because we're in challenging times. This is sort of like a challenge what you guys are going to come up with, but I know you guys are going to pass the test with flying colors. I have no worries on that.
Thank you.
But in the meantime, though, social media is the place to go. Where do we go to follow you guys for when the new music is coming out? Or, if there are any shows or anything that you guys are doing, where do we go to follow you?
Everything's at MONOWHALES. Super easy to find. We're the only MONOWHALES out there. Just type it into Google and you'll see all of our stuff.
Fantastic. Look, thank you so much for making time for speaking with me. You guys be safe. I love you guys. Give everybody a big hug for me. And I'm hoping, man, we can hug in person the next time. And I'm hoping it can be really, really soon.
Thank you so much, Rudy. Looking forward to it too, man. Appreciate
you
it.
take care, and we'll talk soon. Take care.
All right, peace. Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you to Jordan Circosta of the alt-rock band MONOWHALES for appearing on Indie Fridays, The Interviews with Rudy Blair, presented by Yonge-Dundas Square. Check out the other upcoming interviews by following Yonge-Dundas Square on social media. Links to each Friday's interviews will be shared weekly. Next week's artist is R&B Juno Award winner Drew. And if you're still looking for more of Toronto's music scene, you should check out the Downtown Yonge BIA's Play the Park series. Great music still abounds in the downtown Yonge neighborhood. Play the Parks, though not in the literal parks at the moment, is streaming music on Tuesdays and Thursdays from the different businesses in the neighborhood. It's local artists performing pop-up shows in non-traditional spaces around the neighborhood. It continues to be a performance avenue for emerging Toronto artists and also introduces people to unique businesses in the community. To watch previous performances and for information on upcoming performances, go to www.downtownyonge.com and check out the event page. It's all linked in the description below. Thank you for listening to Indie Fridays, The Interviews with Rudy Blair, presented by Yonge-Dundas Square. I'm your host, Rudy Blair. We'll see you on the flip side.